Hi, everybody.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear us okay. I know we're a bit sweaty. It's really hot. We just came from athletics. Lauren made it twice around the track. I only made it once around the track.
You're working on it.
So, yeah, I'm working on it. But how are you all doing? I hope you're all doing great. We've got a very important topic tonight. So, I hope we get many people from the public joining us. At this stage, it looks just like we only have members here.
Cool.
Channel members.
That's so funny. I always assume
Hi, Shirley.
the public are chilling in the background.
Yeah, we have 48 people watching now. Hopefully, we can really grow these Tuesday live chats to a few hundred people. It'll really be awesome. A lot of the chats that I did in the past, we had up to 800 people in some of them. But often people like sensation. They like something that's sensational. If it's not sensational, they're just not interested. But if you want to put effort and time into your future, I would advise you to watch these. We'll give you lots of information. We'll make announcements, etc. So this is where you want to be. If you want more detail, then you can join the
We have a
members.
new person.
We have a new person.
Net.
Net.
This is
Hello.
her name.
I like that.
Hi, Carmen and Marsha and Nella and everybody.
Yeah. Welcome. It's awesome to have you here. We almost have 100 people. Well, 78 on its way to 100. So, ran 10Ks on Saturday. Awesome.
In 1 hour, 1 minute. That's amazing.
That's not bad.
That's like 6 minutes K almost.
Yeah.
No, but more.
In my heyday, I was twice as fast. In my heyday. I'll get there again, Yaku, and then we can go out and we can put a stiff pacing. I actually saw someone probably my age tonight do 3,000 meter steeplechase, and he did the whole lot. He had hurdles out instead of the big bars, but he finished it and he was doing a solid pace. So I was quite impressed. But we're trying. That's the main thing. The kids are enjoying it. The goals. You're laughing because of the goals.
Yeah.
It's like a competition. Of
course it's a competition.
But we have over 100 people watching now. Thanks so much. We're going to be talking about 2024, 2025. Also 2023. Some of the possibilities in this year. So it's going to be interesting.
Nella walked 5 kilometers in 1 hour.
That's not bad. You ran 5Ks in 30 minutes, eh?
It was exactly
30 minutes on the dot. That was in Melkbos Strand.
So
Lauren's done a couple of 5K runs, and we need to get back to that level of fitness. Remember last year I said you need to get physically and mentally fit for what we're going to have to endure. Do it. I'm on my way. I do a lot of walking on site at Kuba kilometers every day. It's not enough. I need to do a lot more, and I'm an unhealthy eater. Last night, I ate all sorts before I went to bed.
I feel like that was my fault.
Well, the thing is, I literally get in the car, drive to the other side of the coast, and I eat nothing until I get home. And it's hot in the turbine hall. It's really hectic. Well, at Kuburg, just so you know, Unit 1, there's steam coming out of the steam dump to atmosphere system, which is the one that we use once we heat up the reactor. So you do that using the primary pump, so the reactor's not critical yet, but the plant is in startup. So I'll give you updates on that. It's really awesome to see that happening. A few things here and there that needs to be resolved, but otherwise we're on our way.
Edward says hi to Mr. and Mrs. B.
Mr. and Mrs. B.
I like the sound of that.
Yes. What are we going to say in future? Just Mr. and Mrs. B. They're like the workshops and stuff. I like that, the sound of that.
I also do. I unfortunately cannot find the page I was looking for. The website here is different to the website on my laptop. I don't know what's going on, but anyway.
Go fetch your laptop quickly.
Perhaps I should.
Yeah. Maybe that's just an older version of Windows, so it shows a different.
Oh, great. Marsha started a personal training. How's that going, Marsha?
Awesome.
Okay, so
We have 130 people watching. It's really awesome. We're going to be discussing 2023, some of the things that might happen this year, 2024, 2025.
That's why I need my laptop.
Yeah, just go fetch. Crawl out of here.
You need to do what? 2.4 push-ups, sit-ups, chin-ups, and a couple more.
2.4. We had to run 2.4 Ks in the army. And we had to do it with an R2 rifle with a barrel filled with lead.
Our boys
That
have
was
been working
annoying.
on their pull-ups. I'm quite impressed.
They're actually psycho because the boys will literally take the inside of their door frame just with their fingertips and then do pull-ups like that.
Very impressive.
They're quite strong. Ethan climbed a tree the other day. I mean, I'm walking to the park and I don't see him. I see Joshua standing there looking at him. There's this huge pine tree. And then I just see feet, like from the sides. He was literally gripping with his feet like this and his fingers like this and climbing up like a flippant chipmunk.
The line Niam under construction in Saudi Arabia is
Yeah,
very,
it is.
very
Yeah,
thrilling.
it is under construction.
We did see that. Whoa.
Yeah. So we are monitoring most things that we think is important. Yeah, you can perv Lauren's legs. She's got lacquer on her legs. We are watching what we consider is important around the world, so we are well informed. I know a lot of people send us information snippets and so on. We stay abreast. Sometimes there's things that we've missed that people alert us to, and we have people that we know that we've met within our own community that can contact us anytime. We're fairly familiar with each other, so it's nice when I get info from them. When someone like that contacts you, you take it seriously, generally. But we don't. Many of the people that we know, when they send something, I take notice because I know that it'll be relevant. There's so many things that I was sent in the past that people want me to look at, and some are important, and some are
clickbaity.
Yeah, clickbaity, where someone was fooled into something. So I find it difficult to be someone else's arbiter. I won't do that. It's just. That would be crazy if I had to give everyone an opinion on something they watched somewhere. I mean, a lot of people will think that we remember everyone on tour. We met with over 10,000 people. So if you're new here, when we went on tour in 2020 to tell people about the COVID situation, what my father told me would happen, what else I know with regards to that. Initially, there were just a couple of people that were interested, and then it just ballooned all of a sudden because things had happened to people. Now things are calm. People feel great. People feel a financial pinch, but otherwise they're free. People feel free. That's going to change drastically. By the year 2025, you are going to see things unfold that's really going to shock you. That's going to make COVID-19 look like it was just the entrance to a Sunday school class. It's going to rock your world. And there's many reasons why that has to happen for these global elites to get their plans into place. And we can thwart that. I mean, we can definitely affect that. With all the documents we sit with here, many that we haven't discussed with you yet, in the members' live chats, we do look at the documents. We'll be doing that again this Thursday. And we'll be looking at an experiment that happened.
Possibly two.
Yeah, very disturbing. So Thursday night is going to be one for the record books with regards to understanding the human condition, I want to call it. So Thursday night for the members, look out for that, the human condition. Don't miss the live. Last week, it's like 30 minutes was cut off. So
don't know how that happened.
Don't miss the live. Okay, that's all I can say. We are definitely being interrupted somehow. It's almost like the whole live was routed through some flippant device, which is probably a grabber. And whoever's doing that, it's just plain annoying, really. Just get a life, please.
Yeah, I think the most entertaining part was cut.
Yeah. So try and make it into the live, really. It's like my presentation on nuclear. We spent another hour afterwards. And that is when I could speak freely. Unrecorded, because I can't put that out in the public. So try and attend if you can. The same with the public meetings that we'll be having now. I put out a video earlier today. It's like no one's interested at all. But thanks to the people that have sent the RSVPs through for the meetings that we do have dates for, we'll announce the venues closer to the time. But it's great that people are interested. But the video on YouTube, if it's not sensational, no one cares. But this is certainly sensational. You should feel sensation from the top of your head to the tippies of your toes with what we'll be discussing tonight, for sure.
First,
have you got the volume off there?
Yeah, I do have the volume off. First, someone asked a question which I think maybe it would be important to be addressed. I can't see it now. Someone asked if every nuclear power plant can be used as a weapon. Is that true? Yeah, regarding Coburg, every nuclear power plant can be used as a weapon.
No. Is it Mitch?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you mean by that. So the fuel in Coburg Nuclear Power Station is only 3.8% enriched. You need more than 80% enrichment to actually use the fuel as a weapon. So, and you need a critical mass core. And that is the most difficult thing with regards to nuclear weapons, is actually enriching the uranium to a point where it's weapons grade. So no, you cannot use a normal nuclear reactor as a nuclear weapon at all.
Nope.
Okay. It's impossible, in fact. So Coburg cannot explode. It's not physically possible. Okay.
But can someone make it look like
Okay, so assuming there was an attack. So, Mitch, that's interesting. Let me tell you something that's in the back of my mind. There's things that have been planted around this country very strategically that makes it possible for foreign agents to do something near a place like Coburg Nuclear Power Station to create the sensation, to make a whole lot of people feel enabled by that. I don't want to go into too much detail. I mean, I spent 8 years of my life in counterterrorism intelligence because of this as an agent. People wanting to blow up Coburg. It's really annoying. I don't want to talk about that tonight. What I do want to talk about is destabilization with regards to 2025. The fact that my father said that there's plans afoot for our government to implode by then. I've spoken about it in the Double O Days meetings across the country in the past. But specifically tonight, I mean, we have the elections coming up in 2024.
So that's one of the things we'll be discussing.
Yeah, and we need to discuss the Concord case that's ongoing right now.
Yeah, Big Stone says, hi guys, that's a new name.
Hi, it's really awesome seeing new people here. Big Stone, welcome.
214 people are attending.
Wow, well done. That's a record. Over 200 people. Thanks so much for watching this. And we really want this to build. So we want you to tell other people about what we are doing every Tuesday, public live stream. It's not going to take up the whole evening, but it all depends on the flavor of the day. And today we're discussing 2024, 2025. What to look out for. And this is based on information that I got firsthand. This is based on my own knowledge of the situation in the country, my time in counterterrorism intelligence, the things I learned there. And there's many outcomes that are possible. And there's an outcome we are fighting for, which is for us to have a semblance of civility through that time period. And if the government collapses, okay, because they're not willing to transition to a new system, because the only way they won't collapse is to actually agree to that transition. If they agree to the transition, it can happen in an amicable way. Government can be a part of that. They can actually help set up the new system, and then all resign, have the elections, and Bob's your uncle. That's the ideal, right?
That is the ideal, yes.
I don't think that's going to happen. So we are sitting.
Well, actually, I beg to differ.
Okay, tell me your thoughts.
Well, you need a lot of things in place first, but it can happen if they feel the public pressure.
What can happen?
That they do just step down.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think it's going to happen at this stage. If things really get bad for the whole government to resign, you have the biggest bunch of arrogant pricks sitting in Parliament right now.
That's what power does to people. That's what power does to people.
Now, Thursday night for members is about when you give unfettered power to people where they have a right to do what they want without any limitations. What you would consider civilized people turn into within a few hours. Okay. And so at 10 Thursday evening, if you remember, please don't miss out. It's going to be life-changing. Very important. I'll put out the thumbnail tomorrow, so look out for that.
I think that's also going to be important for people that believe that maybe we shouldn't have a government.
Yeah. You need to listen Thursday evening. That's why you need governance. And you've been very, very strict about that, because there's many people on tour that said, we don't need government at all.
Yes,
I will prove you wrong in no time. And maybe you should be the person suffering because of what you're saying and seeing what it actually means. You do need governance. Definitely. You don't have to call it government. But you need governance, you need representation. There's reasons why there needs to be rules in place. The human condition is something we speak about in our workshops. We cover that a lot. The first level 1 workshops is 10 of them. And then the 4 level 2 workshops covers the human condition. And once you understand your weaknesses, because you're physically human, it transforms how you think about yourself. And then you can actually start rectifying many things in your life. But to get back to 2023, let's just, the focus tonight is 2024, 2025. So that covers the elections, the post-election period. But 2023, let's quickly look at that with regards to the Concord case right now. I mean, tell people how you feel about this court case, this bill that was passed and the whole farce around that.
Well, this group approached the Constitutional Court to say, listen here, the Electoral Act is not constitutional because independents can't run for public office. However, it's still open to interpretation because any South African can start a party. And I did. It was easy and it was cheap. It cost 500 Rand to register a national party with 500 signatures. It's not complicated. Any South African citizen can start a political party. Therefore, every South African citizen has access to vote, to put themselves for public office. So that was never an issue. But they were like, no, it needs to be better. We need independents to run for public office. Fine.
Within the current system, which is a stuffer.
So now they want to keep parties and allow independents. So now,
and it doesn't work.
200 seats are going to be reserved for independent candidates. And it doesn't mean 200 people are going to be voted in. We might only get 2 people voted in. The rest will then just be...
In fact, the spillover vote goes to the parties from highest to lowest proportionally.
Yes.
So they will actually be scoring.
Next year's elections will most probably be the most undemocratic elections probably in the Western world.
Yeah, ever. And the Concord doesn't know what to do.
They require unrepresented and new political parties to obtain 14,000 signatures.
Which has never happened anywhere in the world.
I mean, in America, on the same level, you might need like 2,000, and they have a population of 300,000 people.
300 million.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
360 million now. So remember, they're coming across a border at a rate of knots at the moment.
So those numbers don't make sense. So what's happened, Parliament had to relook at the bill. So the members of Parliament then created...
Who are fraudulently elected.
This is how the legal system is broken. So a well-meaning group, perhaps, approaches the Constitutional Court, says we want the electoral system to be improved. Fine. Then the Electoral Act has to get amended by the parliamentarians, most of which are ANC, DA, EFF, Freedom Front Plus, ACDP, and a whole bunch of others. I can't even remember them. UDM, IFP, PAC, Copa Gang. I can't remember them all.
A gang. Is a gang still there? They're all gangs.
They're hanging on
They're
by
all
thread.
gangs.
There's quite a few hanging on by a thread, but anyway,
a gang is not there.
They're all like, let's protect our seats. Let's make it impossible for new parties to get in. And so not just are there requirements for independence, which makes sense because they haven't registered a party. You need those requirements for the independence. They've made it hard. Why did unrepresented parties get thrown into this? I would like to see a lot of those parties in government right now get 14,000.
They must go and do it themselves, you know.
Yeah.
If they want others to do it, they must do it
I
themselves.
think a lot of them are going to get tomatoes and eggs thrown at them if they had to do it themselves. So if you have a seat in parliament right now, you don't need to get those 14,000 signatures, which is very
And you get
difficult.
taxpayers' money to stay there.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to be the most undemocratic.
It's such an undemocratic system to begin with.
But we're waiting for the Constitutional Court to rule again.
So let's just tell them what the Concord case is about. So a couple of people brought before the Concord a couple of things. Well, the first thing that the Concord said they want to deal with is the amount of signatures that the parties or independents need to get now. Because, for instance, the OM is already registered with the IEC. So why should they go through any other process again? They should just take part in the national elections and pay the fee, which OM has already got. So OM can pay the fee. Now, all of a sudden, you must go and get 14,000 votes, which is, they just arbitrarily, signatures, just dug out of their backsides. I mean, this is basically what they said to the Concord. The Concord is now sitting with a predicament because they now need to dictate to Parliament what to do, and that's unconstitutional. So they're in a loop of skullduggery, and it's a chessmate. Stalemate. Checkmate. It's a total stuff up.
It is. Indeed it is. Anyway, we march on forward.
Well, the thing is, once that ruling comes out, they are also just going to give an arbitrary number. Are they going to go back to Parliament, who's the very people that don't want this to happen? I mean, you can't get the criminal. It's like saying I'm asking a gangster how to actually regulate the gangs. You can't do that. It's madness. But this is what's happening in our current system. So our system is broken. This is what you said from the very start, that the system is broken.
Yeah, but now it's more broken.
Even worse. So this court case made it worse. And the sad thing is people call this a direct election bill, which it's not.
No,
not at all.
That is frustrating. It was branded all wrong. It's just making provision for an independent, which is really weird because if one person gets more than the amount of votes required for a single seat, the largest parties will benefit. They will get the spillover votes.
Yeah.
So it's just going to empower.
It is actually so unfair. It's ridiculous what they've done. So this whole bill is a farce. It has nothing to do with direct election. But just explain quickly to everyone what you want to happen, what it must actually look like.
Huh?
What must it actually look like?
Oh, electoral system.
Electing
it's
people
in our
directly.
Wonderful new document that is getting ticked. We're dotting the I's and crossing the T's currently. But some of you got some enlightenment. Not last week.
I don't know. They have no idea what you're talking about.
No, so this document. It is about what we want to do, and this is what we're calling our manifesto, is the...
I hate that name.
I know you do. Politically overhauling the electoral system, keeping legislation about people.
So the government needs a PK. That's basically where it comes from, and I think, yeah.
Hands-on neurodiverse education center. If you who I'm thinking, I lost your message on my phone because I did a phone swap, and if I remember correctly, you wanted flyers. So just send a message again, please.
Yeah, Lauren did a phone swap.
It's been disastrous. Oh, wow, Marlene. Thank you.
10 signatures, you mean 100?
That's phenomenal. No, 10. I think she means 10.
Okay, so 13,990 to go, Molly. Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
So, yeah, I must
Okay, so what we want to do is get rid of political parties. That's what I want to do.
And then what's going to happen? What do you want to see happen?
We're going to vote for the president directly.
That didn't sound good.
No. Okay, anyway, we're going to vote for the president directly as well as...
I'm going to go check quickly what happened while you carry on.
As well as for members of parliament. So members of parliament will all be geographically elected. So more or less your sub-council size of the population, you'll have an MP coming out of that, which is more, I think, more transparent, more accessible. They'll have to live in the area where they are representing you. So they'll be in touch with the issues. Whoops. Oh, Eve, real no doesn't mean OM is screwed at all. We are totally rising above the occasion. We've already asked members to help us. All we really need is, like, I did the maths, 50 members, 50 members, obtaining 15 signatures a week for the next 19 weeks gets us to the required amount, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do it chop chop. So no, it's not. It's just unfair that this is a requirement all of a sudden. It's going to mean there's going to be a lot less parties on the ballot, which I think voters will appreciate.
Yeah.
But it's not democratic. It doesn't honor the spirit of democracy at all.
I think we must get back to 2023, which this is part of this discussion. So in 2023, there's a big fight in the Concord. The Concord doesn't know what to do. It screwed itself over because the system is screwed. I think that's a big thing that they'll realize now. The system is broken. Our constitution is not the perfect constitution that they made it out to be. Because it is snookered itself now.
So in order to change the electoral system, and this is the thing, the organization that brought the Electoral Act in front of the Constitutional Court to say it's unconstitutional, I believe that they didn't approach it the right way because approaching it the right way is too difficult. What actually needs to change is the Constitution, because in the Constitution, it states that we are a multi-party democracy. So you can't change the electoral system just looking at the Electoral Act. You have to change the entire Constitution. And that is hard. You need a lot of buy-in. I think you need around 70 or 75% of the votes in Parliament to get that, which is the majority. So when OM does get a seat, it's going to take a lot of lobbying and a lot of convincing to get there. But we believe with the correct public relations campaign, it will easily be done. If voters put the pressure on the people in Parliament, then it should be able to get done fast.
I don't even think we need to worry about that right now. We need to talk about the fact that parties in general and independents feel like they are being screwed over, okay, by the current Parliament, which is what they normally do. They screw people over all the time. And the people in Parliament at the moment think that they control our lives. They feel empowered. In power, you give a person that was insignificant before, you give them power in a party where you gat creep to get your way to the top. And we've seen that. Then you get power and it's handed to you. The party gives it you and the party can take it away from you in the current system, which is ridiculous. The party can take you out of your seat anytime. Yeah. So you have to keep on sucking up to them. If the whip of the party says you must vote like this, then you must vote like that. You don't have a choice or you're going to lose your position.
So, Sue, that is correct. What you said is correct. And then Marlene, the signature requirement is not applicable to parties already in power in Parliament or in provincial legislature. Hi, Chesney.
But I think we need to move on to 2024. The elections itself, but it's not just about that. The economy of the country at the moment.
May I ask what broke?
Yes, so Ethan dropped the blind in the kitchen without looking at a porcelain thing that was on the windowsill. So it's an antique, gone.
Antique?
He smashed it.
The green thing?
No, it was some white and blue bowl.
It's not antique though, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's smashed in pieces. Maybe you can fix it with some glue.
Okay. So let's go.
That's not having attention to detail.
Anyway.
Arkie nadi markie.
I don't know if this is an issue.
What on earth? Yeah. No. Sorry, I need to stop that.
It's a new YouTube thing.
Wow. Okay, that's good.
So one thing, I know I didn't even discuss this with you first, but talking about the future, near future, I'm shocked at how many articles I read about new shopping centers being developed.
It's as if and even big shops that supply food and goods and stuff, they're just developing everywhere, left, right, and center. Where's the money coming from?
That's what confuses me.
Oh, simple. Okay, the people can't buy expensive stuff anymore. So now they have to buy first from the cheaper shops. So they experience a boom. Okay, and people like Christopher is running before that boom runs out. He understands that boom is going to be over because it just comes for a short while. Because everyone has to scale down. So everyone runs to ShopRite and buys the food there, you save, etc. And it's not long, and that money runs out too. People can't buy anymore.
It's not easy.
And that's when people become really desperate, and we need to talk about that.
Yeah, Lana's right. Existing ones are half empty. We've seen that too.
Yeah.
Don, where do we sign? All our area reps have forms. We'll have to know where more or less you are. On the other hand, I could send you a form, you could print it and get a few signatures. That could also work.
So it's purely just to say that, and I would encourage you to sign it for any other party or independent.
I see Suzanne and
Do you agree, Lauren?
also asking. Yeah. So the best would be to just WhatsApp OM and we'll try get an area rep, if an area rep's in your area, to come to you and get your signature.
Yeah. But to me, it's seriously important at this stage that we look at the circumstances in the country, and there's something I want to talk about. I did a live stream on this a while back, and I actually saw that live stream come up as a prompt on when I wasn't signed into YouTube. I wanted to check up on the situation in Israel, and my video from the past popped up, and it had 16,000 views, and it was on 40% of companies in South Africa not paying their pension contributions, which is illegal. And at that stage, the ANC was one of them. They're not on the list anymore, but I actually sent myself all the links and got an up-to-date article where it says there's 16 billion rand owed by companies to the pension funds. So you think you're going to get a pension and you're not. And the list that companies provided every year, and the latest list is, I think, from April 2023. So I'm going to make that available in the community tab, the link, so that you can actually look at this. But the fact that 40% of the companies, and that went up from 26 or 27% to 40% during the COVID period, towards the end of the COVID period. So that was in 2022. Think about it. Most people have forgotten about COVID by now. And it's just a year later since the lockdowns actually stopped. People forget so fast. It's unbelievable. But I said at the time that we haven't seen the effects of COVID yet in our economies because fake money was pumped into our economy. It's fake money because how much was it? 550 billion that was injected. That's not ours. We have to pay it back. And that's a lot of funds that the citizens have to carry the burden for. And what was it spent on? Shields put up in hospitals, at every flippin' shop. People got contracts like you couldn't believe. I remember people registered as BE suppliers and then they got the local oak down the road to do all the dirty work. That oak made a killing. The contractor made a killing. Did absolutely nothing. It's just sickening. So the whole system in the country is just broken, completely broken. And we need, what does Klaus Schwab say? A complete reset.
He's right, we need a reset, but not in the way he says.
No, definitely not.
So it's interesting. I saw on Instagram, because I follow all the different things to do with government, global to local. And the city of Cape Town is putting forward a proposal asking people to put submissions. How do they want 2050 to look like? And they have all these utopian pictures and images. And it looks nice, like there's this massive water slide and lots of greenery and just plants everywhere. So it looks appealing. But I'm afraid it's just going to be this empty dystopia, not utopia. Because it doesn't matter aesthetically what the city looks like. What matters is that government stays out of our lives, out of our business, and taxes us less. That's what matters. not how many plants are growing off the highway. And it's so easy to get caught up in this euphoria. Oh, the government cares, it's listening, it's asking us, not realizing what they're trying to do is dig their claws in deeper and deeper so that they can stay in power for longer.
I think the whole mentality around a savior figure, and this has got nothing to do with religion, okay, has been forced down people's throats since they were young. And the government is putting itself forward as a savior figure. I will collect your rubbish for you. I will supply you with water. I will supply you with electricity. I will supply you with roads. I will supply you with all these nice things. I will make it so awesome for businesses that they build large shopping centers. You can buy all the nice things that you want. When the government collapses, what happens then?
At first, no one will know. I saw an advert today. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a headband that you put over your eyes, and it comes with wireless Bluetooth earphones. And on the headband are buttons that you press to play your sleepy meditation music or whatever. And I just thought to myself, people are going to one day just be locked into these virtual reality pods, and no one will know what's happening out there at all.
Okay, what's happening?
Yeah.
Oh, word.
Oh, Lebo, no, we don't have reps in Nelspruit, but we are looking for reps everywhere. So if you're perhaps willing, you can send me a message and we can talk.
Yeah. So 2024, there's a couple of scenarios. Depending on what happens this year with the Concord, and the Concord needs to make a ruling soon. They can't wait till next year. So that was the most urgent part. How many signatures must the parties get? Now, they should not be saying anything about this. This shouldn't even be in front of the Concord. The Parliament should have come up with a proper bill, which they didn't, okay? They were never going to do it in the first place. You said it was going to be subversion from the get-go.
I remember. I was invited to a lot of their meetings, which was sweet that they invited all the parties to try to get our involvement. But I smelt a rat the whole time. And I don't mean like it's intentionally subverting. It's just when you use the system like that, the legal system, I'm very opposed to the legal system. It never really, it's not designed to meet our justice.
This type of legal system, you mean?
Currently.
Yeah, not opposed to a legal system.
No, obviously you need one still.
A lot of people don't think we need a legal system.
If they carry on with their carbon net zero policy, there will be no plants.
Yes. Yeah, the plants will die. Yeah. So 2024, if the Concord cannot come to a solution, and believe me, they have no idea what to do at this stage. So the highest court in the country is a farce at this stage. They have snookered themselves. They're in a circle of perpetual annihilation. The elections cannot be free and fair. The 2024 elections. It's impossible already. Never mind the fact that the other elections, the only fair thing you do or democratic thing you do is making your cross.
Okay, so that's interesting. With this constitutional ruling that happened, with the act, the Electoral Act, technically, the Constitutional Court said that, yes, they're right, the act needs to change. It doesn't fit in line with the Constitution. Does that not mean all previous elections were null and void in a sense, because it wasn't in accordance to the Constitution, strictly speaking? So that's an interesting one.
Well, that is one of the big problems that they had, is what this means. And the other problem that they had is the means of fixing the problem. Mm-hmm. You have to get the problem to fix the problem.
You have a dog hair on you.
The dog hairs are everywhere. It's definitely a frustration for me. Our dog has hair everywhere. So we are sitting without a proper electoral system. And they cannot fix it. They actually cannot fix it. It's not possible. They can't even fix it before 2024. So whatever we can have in 2024 is going to be unconstitutional. It's going to be usually undemocratic. And at the end of the day, I'm not sure how that's going to pan out in helping to actually get that transition to a new system. So hopefully whatever you've done with the paperwork is going to really appeal to the people of South Africa, and they'll get behind it. And I will encourage you to read it when it's out. I haven't seen it yet in its current form, so I don't know what's in there, except for a PK.
Yeah. So Lana, Audrey, and Lebo are more or less in the same area. So if I can get a form to one of you guys, then we can get 3 signatures from Mpumalanga.
There's something
I'm
happening.
sure we'll get more.
But welcome to the 280 odd people that's watching this live stream. I really want to focus on 2024, 2025 possibilities. You know, the fact that in 2025, it is possible that our government would have collapsed by then. Tell us in the comments, do you think that this government can maintain the current trend in looting and mismanaging of funds, and the country carry on till then? And remember, the country can never collapse. A country cannot collapse. As long as there's industrious people, a country cannot collapse. A government can absolutely collapse because they need us to pay them lots of money. So when the economy collapses, a country is still not collapsed, because you can create a very different economy. As long as you can grow food, the most industrious people would normally rise in a situation like that. So wherever there's been war in the world afterwards, where there's just destruction and mayhem, the strongest and the most industrious people build better always. Whatever they put back, I mean, is incredible. So I'm not talking about momentous buildings that have been built by the ancients. That's just incredible. The society that you build will always improve post hardship. And this is like a circle that we go through. And we're going to get back there by 2025, 2026. I think that's when the crux is going to really go down. I don't think our government will exist in its current form post 2026. I believe by the end of 2026, they would have either collapsed completely, or we would already be in the transition to something new. In other words, we won't have to wait till 2029 for new elections. That is what I think is going to happen. Now, besides that, my father said that there's a plan, or the plan was for the ANC to collapse this country's government by 2025. Now, obviously, there has to be role players in that. And Cyril Ramaphosa, our current president, is a huge role player in enabling this.
Interestingly, if you look at our history, there's a lot of freedom fighters that you don't hear about. They just died in obscurity. And, I always think perhaps they are the leaders that have taken South Africa to the next level, but they never were given the chance. Those that were given the chance were given the chance for this period we're entering.
They wouldn't be part of the narrative, you see. So, I mean, even the royalty in the African tribes was literally politicized and also colonialized. In other words, there's many people that believe that the real royal bloodlines, the African royal bloodlines, is not what we see today. And people want to fix that. So those are big things that could still happen in the near future. So there's a lot of jostling happening on the ground behind the scenes that the mainstream media is not aware of. I don't think they're aware of these things because the media is not brought to these things. The people that you see in the media want media attention. You should ask yourself, how did the journalists get that bit of info? It's often leaked. If you get bad promotion for a shop somewhere, it is free promotion. If someone says the price was wrong on a piece of chicken and they're cheating or whatever, it's a free ad for that business. And you need to think about it like that. If you start thinking about things differently, your mind will start opening to so many different possibilities. But 2025, I think, is the crunch year. 2024, the elections, is important in my mind, for one reason. For the first time, the people of South Africa will be able to vote for an option that will change the political system.
Yeah, so
legally.
Watch out for manifestos. that are about policy change versus system change. I don't know how many political parties out there are going to be speaking about system change, but just keep that in mind. A lot might say we're going to promise you jobs, we have this economic policy, or we have this policy or that policy. And that's not what's going to fix South Africa.
No.
Only overall system change, which is what we'll highlight in the document, which should be ready very, very soon.
So hopefully you look out for that. And I'm really happy that many people have joined many people from the public has joined this live stream. I really hope that you tell your friends to join us in the future live streams. We don't want these to be too long. But 2025, my dad said that there's a plan for a savior to come in by 2025. The United Nations specifically was mentioned. That the United Nations will step in, form an interim government, and that this was planned in the 70s already. Okay. Literally. In the 70s, the ANC was already decided to be the organization. They hadn't decided that Nelson Mandela will be the person. All decided beforehand. And it shocked my father when he found out this information. And I think it reorganized how he thought about the world. He was probably around my age. No, he was younger than, in the 70s. How old was he then? He must have been in his 40s then. So, no, actually in his 30s, your age.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing.
When he found these things out. And it shocked him to the core, because he realized, firstly, that the National Party government was just a pawn of globalist interests. That included Israel, by the way. If you watch my my presentation on nuclear in South Africa, the nuclear history, and you can book for that still. You can book for any of the presentations anytime, but that presentation speaks about that link. And it's important that people understand that link. So the people behind the scenes that made the ANC what they were, post when the ANC collapsed in the 30s, in the 40s, when the ANC came into being again, it was a different organization completely. And you will see the same people that created the Israel involved in South Africa. Exactly the same people with the same agendas, the same end goals, same end plan. And if you go and watch the Moments in Time and question everything series of videos, then you will understand what it's about. It's for free for everyone to watch on this channel. You can go to those playlists, Moments in Time, question everything, go to the playlist section on this channel, look for it, watch those videos, and you'll get my perspective on that. And it might be life-changing for you to actually get that understanding. So 2025, a very key year, and I believe 2026 is a follow-on from that. I don't think the UN will stand a flippant chance to try anything here for long. I can't actually imagine them even attempting that. Hopefully they just leave us alone.
One thing I've noticed, because we've been going through so many documents and reading about so many global organizations, that when you look at their lofty goals, they actually haven't achieved much yet.
Well, the one thing that is being said now with many wars and clashes around the world, that the UN is actually toothless, that what they said that they would be, that they're not that they don't do any of those things. And I have laid out in detail what the UN actually is and what their actual goals are behind the scenes. There's many people in the UN that really believe they are helping and serving the world. Shame peace.
I think they're just on a power trip because you're part of this global organization that's literally in their mind saving everyone from their own selves. Yeah. Meanwhile, they're destroying. And I think they were instrumental in disempowering an entire generation through the school system, specifically here in South Africa, with UNESCO's interference in our curriculum. UNESCO's offices are at our Department of Education's offices in Pretoria, Tshwane. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous. And what we have from my generation, I went to school in 1995, I think, for the first time, Sabe. What we have is a generation that can't really create something from scratch, can't think for themselves. We are programmed to want a job instead of creating jobs. So now we've reached a point where they are too many people wanting jobs, too little people creating jobs, which is an absolute disaster. So I feel the education system is an absolute crisis because it's not going to produce the minds we need to create a nation. And if you can homeschool your children, do it. I know it seems impossible to a lot of people. And when you do homeschool your children, don't drum the normal school curriculum into their heads. Let them be free and let them be creative.
We almost have 300 people that's joined us. Welcome to this live chat. Please like this live chat so we can get the algorithms to show it to more people. Watch it for as long as possible. If you've come in late, watch the beginning later if you can. But join us every Tuesday evening at 8 o'clock. We will be here for this live chat for the public. Every Thursday evening at 8 o'clock, we join for the members live chat. We really want to thank the almost 100 channel supporters that we have. We hope you enjoy the polls that we put out. How have you enjoyed the polls? For those of you that don't know, there's public polls that you can go and do. And on this channel, we get over 1,000 people responding, sometimes 1,100 up to 1,400 people responding to the poll. So those are huge samples. And we sample all the subscribers on the channel. They might not agree with everything we say, but people that are interested in listening to what we have to say. Okay, someone
Lauren.
gifted memberships.
Thanks, Lauren.
Thanks, Lauren. That's really awesome. So that is really, really awesome that we're getting this kind of support. And we're going to be touring again. On our Telegram channel, you'll find the link underneath this video in the description. There's a Lauren Telegram channel. We will put the details out there. And then you can email us. And then you can book to attend these meetings. The meetings are free. You can just come and attend. And the topic, I cannot wait to present to people face to face, because you have to be there face to face with people. Those people that have attended the Double O Days meetings initially when it was small, you'll know that we started out with small meetings, and then it became 20, 30. 40, 50, 100, 200. Up. Remember?
Oh, that one, that was cool. Yeah.
It was very interesting. We had our largest meeting in Lulakadi. The whole community rocked up for that one. So just understand one thing. Everyone in this country, across the board, except for some people in the middle class, the typical DA voters, are aware that we have global issues, okay? That there's a global threat to freedom in this country. No. I said except for those, yeah. Are aware. If you go to most informal settlements or rural areas across South Africa, in the rural areas, the people are farming there or living on small holdings because of these threats. They don't want to be caught up in cities where their lives are regulated to the max.
So interestingly, the only thing keeping the system propped up is our addiction to the fruits of the very system. My favorite.
Your favorite.
Me, I'm guilty. I'm speaking about me.
Yeah, all of us are guilty of that. I mean, if you want to do athletics, you want to buy a discus and a javelin and whatnot.
Yeah, but there
should be nothing wrong with that.
There is nothing wrong with
that.
No,
that's awesome.
But how the system says that is what's wrong, is how the system says
the system. It's the way that we do things. So, to me, in South Africa, we can do incredible things. And post 2026, I think we can start turning things around. Our railways are shot. I mean, I look at the railway line that goes to Atlantis, to the industrial area there. It's not in use at all. It's a total disaster. We can fix things like that. We can rebuild it. It's been done many times before in many nations where entire cities are wiped out and rebuilt. You can literally see cities built on top of cities, on top of cities, on top of cities. So there's a lot that we can do. We will just need people. And this is what the Omega training is about. Omega training is for free. The membership on this channel helps us to be able to do things like that. So becoming a member helps us to do this all the time, because there's so many other things we have to do. Our time is quite full. So thanks to the people that do make that possible. It's really awesome. But when we tour the country now, the topic I'll be discussing with you is global subversion. and the layers of penetration. It's not something I've discussed before. I will tell you in detail how intelligence layers, compartmentalizes things, and how the global elites do exactly the same thing, and how many layers there are. How you set up someone like the Ruperts in South Africa, for instance, to grow that massive company that they have, how that works. I will discuss that in detail. I will explain to you how the World Economic Forum and Klaus Schwab comes into being, how he is allowed to create an organization like that, and how that organization then blossoms into what it is today. I will tell you that in detail. So I'm looking forward to that. It's not going to be long meetings. It's going to be focused. I'm going to have a presentation that I will focus on. So I'll stick to talking points. Not to get distracted. There will be half an hour for questions afterwards, but it'll be an hour and a half max, 2 hours total with questions. We'll have a break and then we'll do a workshop after that. So short, powerful. We don't want to take up your whole day. The WDS meetings, Lauren, my word, they on average 7 to 8 hours long each.
Yeah, that's not going to be possible.
And people enjoyed that. How did you enjoy these very long meetings? I don't know how people lost it. Hey, people just sat there.
But they did.
Yeah. And we did it non-stop for 18 months. That was insane. I don't know how we did it. How did I do it?
Not sure.
How did my throat last?
Lots of people asked you how you did it. But we did. So you can look forward to that. Email us at meetings@omega with an h.org.za. Maybe type it in.
Yeah.
And then just say you'd like to attend the meeting. Say where you are. We're not going to go to as many places as last time, but we'll definitely cover the provinces and then a few other key towns.
Okay.
The meetings, Chesney, will start here in Cape Town.
On the 16th
of December.
So 16th of December. So yeah, thanks for the new memberships.
Gauteng is next.
Yeah.
After that.
Gauteng is next, then KwaZulu-Natal, then Kibera, but we'll do the Garden Route, we'll do the Boland and all of those places. So we do want to do the first workshop, which is to triage your life. It's super important. And a lot of people might think it's not important. You will learn from it. When we are standing face to face with you, it will be a totally different experience. And we will put it on steroids for you. And it's going to be impactful. And it's not the same on Zoom as it is when you're standing in front of people.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I turn into a different beast. And so will Lauren.
Sure, no pressure.
Yeah. So it's really awesome that so many of you joined us. So 2024, expect more economic suffering. Our interest rates are going up again. See more companies suffering. At this stage, 70% of the people in South Africa with loans are behind or at the point where the sheriff wants to come knocking at their door. Think what that means. That's with regards to their homes, their cars. We have not seen the effects yet of this non-existent economy, because at the moment it's artificially inflated because people are just buying less and less.
It's going to be very difficult. I mean, forever I get bored of my own self telling people to grow veggies and store water, and you've been saying that forever. And we have a group Independent Living on Facebook. And I think that's just going to become more and more true.
So it doesn't have to cost a fortune, people, to have those things that help you prepare yourself. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. This is where a lot of people say, I don't have the money to do it. Absolute nonsense. There's so much that you can do, and you should do what you can do. And then get to know people that have the things that you can't do or can help you with the things that you can't do. Oh, that's what community is about. Skip. Wow, at least they give me a chance to stop the thing. So it wants to shove an ad in while we are doing a live stream.
I was doing that last week too.
That's we missed a few.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're noticing it because I'm looking at the camera.
Thanks to the horse lady, we know we need to.
Yeah, we need it soon. Please.
I don't know how or when, but we have to just cut the time out of
definitely.
The schedule.
So 2024, financially, people are going to struggle. It's going to get really tough and very real. That's why I'm not worried people that ignore what we are doing, they won't ignore it anymore. Once we start touring and we have these meetings, I believe that we're going to have large attendances at these meetings. It's going to be big meetings. It's not going to be 10, 20, 30 people. It's going to be a lot more than that. And, the difference is when the people come together like that, and I try and travel. So we are announcing this way ahead of time so that you can make provision to travel. So we will announce the venues. It'll be around Gauteng. It's going to be close to the or in the Cape Town metro. So you should be able to get to the place within 50 to 60 Ks of traveling maximum in most cases. Some people might want to travel further. I don't care if people from all over the country come to the Cape Town meeting and then go to the Gauteng meeting. It can be like a groupie thing if you want. And then to KwaZulu-Natal, then to PE.
My comments don't show in our live stream. I just wanted to put the email again. So, like we said, the meetings are completely 100% free.
Yeah.
Just bring snacks, bring your children or your pets. The venue dependent. And then just email us if you would like to attend to that email address.
Yeah, I must tell you, many of our venues in the past have been quite interesting and people have enjoyed it. So it's like an outing. People would come in their camping chairs and so on. It might be a bit different this time. We'll still try and keep that kind of feel. The main thing is we need to see you face to face again. I think it's super important. Our kids can't wait. They're very excited. So 16 December, Cape Town, and then starting Get Over the Holiday Blues, and then the 3rd of February,
Gauteng. Yeah.
And then the 10th of February, we're in KwaZulu-Natal, and then in Kibera the 17th, and the 18th is Lauren's birthday. So
correct.
The 17th in PE, Lauren's from Port Elizabeth or Kibera.
I'm from the Eastern Cape, so I'm what Helen Zilla calls a refugee.
Yeah, Lauren's a refugee in Cape Town, something like that. So come and have a birthday bash with Lauren.
Ending in my hometown.
Yeah.
On that note, I might have found a venue for Ohm's birthday at the end of the year. So yes. I'll update you guys on that.
But I suppose that can happen around the country.
One year is asking, when in Mpumalanga? We're not sure yet.
So we will figure out when we go to the next places from there. So there's many areas that we need to cover. So those main areas we need to cover as soon as possible. That's why we did them close together, just to get to see everyone again. That's important. We're going to keep on with meetings non-stop for a long time, but it's not going to be on permanent tour. I mean, it'll be weekends. It's not going to be like before where I have 2-3 meetings a day in the middle of the week. It's incredible how many people came to the meetings. I actually can't believe it because I didn't organize it. People just came in their numbers.